motherfuckers! Fuck you! Fucking bitches.
Hey, you leave or put this grenade right in front of you.
Oh!
I'm perfectly
I'm
legal.
sorry. I'm sorry. What's your
perfectly
call?
fucking legal,
What the fuck
bitch.
did you say? Oh, what the? Oh, what the fuck?
Hey! You know what? Go ahead. What the fuck? You guys are on film.
So everyone else is going to go without a paycheck this week.
Yeah.
Boeing is going to get this replacement. Now, something that Glenn Greenwald said a little bit ago on our show.
Put that mask up.
Was
What
that
the
this
fuck?
Aunque le ponga la trampa, tiene experiencia en regar. Se quedaron con las ganas, se les pegó Baltasar. Son los que carga el morral, le sabe su contenido, por eso la federal.
What is this guy? I don't know. Oh shit.
Officials to that apartment complex. Some even rappelled down.
First and foremost, I start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakwakadash, the honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS who rule well and also taught me the truth. Shalom to you, fella Akim out there, pushing this truth with sincerity, risking your life and freedom to do so. Shalom to the few sisters, very few sisters that listen in silence, as the scriptures say. I'm Karav, children of the light, with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua. And as you can see, all of these videos are from, ICE, the ICE raids in Chicago. I think it's called Operation Midway Blitz. But as you can see, by their presence being here, and the more and more that we're in Jacob's trouble, because that's exactly what's going on. Jeremiah 30 and 7, you know, but he shall be saved. Daniel, he shall be saved from it. I believe Daniel 12, the 12th chapter, and speaking on the elect. But yeah, we're definitely in Jacob's trouble. And this is only gonna get worse, right? This is only gonna get worse. The people are starting to fight back, you know. There's there's things that are taking place on both sides, and it lines up with the scriptures, because Matthew the 24th chapter say that nation shall rise up against nations, right? And if you go into that word nation, I believe it's the Greek word ethnos, which means ethnicity, you know, because you see how they doing this thing. Yeah, Salakia, sorry about that. But yeah, so ethnos against ethnos, meaning ethnicity against ethnicity, right? And How they rolled this thing out was the Northern Kingdom. We gonna send ICE to um, deport the Northern Kingdom, right? But along with that, what do they have for Jake? They have the National Guard. And the woman said on YouTube, I can't remember the lady name, but she said she's out there in DC, and they just don't come uh National Guard. The National Guard comes with other agencies as well. You know, FBI, DEA, ICE, you know, and a lot of other federal agencies. And that's the same with the ICE presence in Illinois. ICE is not the only agency here. But as you can see, this is Second Ezra, the 15, 16 chapter. Matthew the 24th chapter. Uh what is it? Revelation 12 and 12. Let me grab some scriptures real quick. Okay. It's a Second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw near. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, right? Ethnos against ethnos, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's a lot to unpack in the last three verses that I just read. You know, this is a lot. For the sword and destruction draw near, one people shall stand up and fight against another. And you seeing the tension is there, and it's only getting worse. Each side is getting more and more ballsy, shall I say, for a lack of a better word. You know, and this thing is ready to combust. It's ready to pop. It's a chemical reaction, basically. You know, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another, and it's no coincidence. At the same time this is happening, the digital ID is being pushed. They're destroying it from within. You know, okay. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning, people gonna go out here and do what they feel. They want to take your shit, they're gonna take your shit. You know, people are gonna be dying out in these streets. Whether if it's from Esau and and the stormtroopers or militia groups or whatever. You know, and the stage is already set. That's why they had the Charlie Kirkland um you know thing that happened. And if you haven't watched the movie Snake Eyes, you know this is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein, Salaki, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he had but a short time. And that's what they preparing to do. They preparing to come in as a flood, because this man is at the end of his kingdom. It's over with for him, and he knows it. The only ones that don't know it are is the people. You watch those movies. You have the villain, and the villain is pretty much he's fully funded, right? And whatever research or whatever it is doing, he has connections. And name a movie. Just name a movie with the villain. I Robot, the guy that um made the fucking robot. He wasn't no broke individual. He had power. He had money. He had success. He had owned the company. You know, when you look at GI Joe, the movie with the one with what's this guy's name? Channing Tatum, I think. Channing Tatum and Marlon Wayans. I forgot the guy they was going after, his name, Destro, whatever, Red Skull. I can't remember his name. But the man had money. He was selling weapons to the government, you know? So you know, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, he was selling to the government. So you have the hero, who gets his ass whooped the whole movie, you know? He go through a trial, of things and tests and deal with hardship and pain, and then he succumbs all of this. He overcomes all of this at the end of the movie, and that's what you have going on right here in the real time. You have the real heroes, which the world look at as bums, the elect of the Lord, the prophets, look at them as fools, you know, and then you have the real villain who is actually their oppressor, but they in love with them. You know, uh, they love oppression. They stand there on right. Matter of fact, let me get Isaiah. Uh, I think it's 10, 10 and no, so like it's 30 and 10. Okay, I started at 9. It's Isaiah 30 and 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children. Children will not hear the law of Yahweh. Okay. Which say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets prophesy not unto us right things. Right. They didn't like us bringing out these things that are taking place now, and the things that are about to happen. Because we've been warning the people about the micro C hip, Jacob's trouble, you know, everything, you know, but they didn't want to hear that. And they still don't want to hear it. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression. See, that's the point. They trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. You know, so yeah, they don't choose the fear of the Lord, and and man, because it's about to go down around here. You know, what the scriptures say, our salvation is nearer than what we believe, and it's true, right? All right, and this is how you know we at them days that we're at the end of this thing, right? Um, and this is the disciple asking the Lord, when will be the signs of thy coming? And he said, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war, and see not that ye be troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, ethnos. Ethnos shall rise against ethnos, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And there was an explosion in California. I believe it was like a fuel company or whatever. And they said that explosion alone, no, that company alone is responsible for 40% of the jet fuel and gas on the West Coast. So they saying gas prices can be raised, are going to be raised or could be raised. I'm not for sure. I was listening to the news before I started this lesson, and they said the gas prices could be raised anywhere from 5 to 10 cents a gallon. You know, so the famine, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places, all of that is the stage is already set. You got the digital ID. If you don't, uh, which is gonna lead to the MOTB, But if you don't comply, you would not be able to work. You would not be able to board, flights, uh, travel, get medical, care, whatever. You won't be able to be a part of society, right? So with that, and you have the rising prices of the inflation, gas prices. Now you got these disasters and things that are happening. The government is coincidentally shut down as well, so millions of people won't be getting paid. So all of this is here. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Even the situation that's going on in the Gaza. You got a lot of people over there that are without aid and food, and it's coming here. All these are the beginning of sorrows. You see, so we in that time of sorrow. You know, because Isaiah 19, and then I'm gonna close because I'm all over the place, but it's all through the Spirit. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. And this is not speaking of ancient Egypt. This is speaking of the new Egypt, you know, which is Babylon, America. And the idols of Egypt shall be removed at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And that's what's happening right now. Both sides are the sides have already been set. You know, you got the red against the blue. You got the Democrats against the Republicans. You got the liberals against the conservatives. You got the migrants, and you got the pro migrants, and then you got the people that's against the migrants, right? So this place is completely divided. And what the scriptures say, a kingdom divided against itself shall not stand, right? And we know this throughout history. Look at our history. What happened? We split, and then we were dispersed, and that's the history and not a mystery. You know, the Syrians came and took over the northern kingdom, by the lead of Shalom Shalmaneser. You know, and then the southern kingdom was taken over by the Babylonians, and then later we were exiled out after 70 A.D. But anyways, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that right there is a civil war, you know? And there's no coincidence that that film just recently came out. It's called Predictive Programming, you know? So with that, pray you are edified, and until next time, Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah.